All right, looks like we are live. This is Shakti from Spiritual Alignment, and I am here live today in the Feminine Leadership Collective group to chat about leadership. Today, September 12th, is the day when I am launching my brand new work called Wild Feminine Leadership. And today, this is just simply an introduction call to introduce the topic to you, to get you all thinking about leadership and how you show up as a leader. Let me just first level set. When I say leadership, I do not mean simply your leadership at work, which is dependent on the title you hold. It's not that. It is broader than that. I'm talking about your personal leadership. Regardless of your title, regardless of your degrees, regardless of the certifications you hold, regardless of the rank of your job, you are a leader in your own right, in your own merit. You are also a leader as a parent, as a mom. You are a leader as a wife, a girlfriend, or a single woman. So leadership is way broader than this old definition of being a leader at certain job position, which is not what we're talking about. So with that being said, if you are watching me live, take a moment to give a hello, like this post, or drop an emoji just to let me know that you're here watching this live. If you are watching this at some other point, please put replay. This way I know that you were here and I can connect with you, say hello to you, and welcome you in my world. And that being said, if this is the first time you're hearing me live, you have never heard me before, you do not know my work, my focus area, you do not know who I am as a person, let me know I am new so that I can reach out and welcome you in my world and introduce myself to you and get to know you. So please know, even though I am live and in this platform only I am the one speaking, please know this is a two-way relationship, a community, a tribe that I am wanting to cultivate here. Feminine Leadership Collective is a very special group. We are a group of women who are meant to enjoy massive success. And I feel like we're very like-minded in a way. We understand the importance of mindfulness, healing, spirituality. And in this lifetime, we are walking on the path of really bringing all parts of us in deeper alignment so that we move forward, we take our steps forward, being who we are in our authentic presence. So this is not a place where we just do what is prescribed out there. This is a place, this is an incubator. This is an incubator where birth happens, where women really step into their hearts, their wombs, they really tap into their body's intelligence, they really tap into their intuitiveness to move forward, to propel forward in their lives. And a lot of us are women who hold deep wisdom. We are wise women here who understand the importance of especially staying attuned with our emotions and really bring that forward as a fuel in all that we are creating in our world. So that being said, I honor you. I see you, sister, and you belong right here. And I'm just so happy to be part of this tribe. I'm happy to be leading this tribe and also be a part of this tribe where each one of us can walk each other home. And that is really the path of feminine leadership. Back to leadership. back to leadership, why are we talking about this topic? We are talking about this topic because I have spent the last decade of my life working with women who brought to me constantly this one core issue, which is, Shakti, I am burnt off. I have so much going on and I am feeling confused, not clear, and I'm just burnt out trying to fit in and trying to fit in and trying to fit in. And what they did not know is that Shakti lived that life. I lived that life prior, at least 15 years prior to last decade. So this was the biggest chunk of my life. I have a very long, successful corporate career under my belt. I worked in the banking industry, the top banks out there in the US. I went to top schools, Carnegie Mellon and University of Chicago. I have done management consulting work, and I thought I have this figured out. And day after day, I realized that I was so further away from my own personal leadership. And I didn't realize it when I was in it, right? This is how it kind of, the energy sneaks up. All this kind of burnout happened when it's so normalized in the systems we work with, we be in. And it shows up when we have a moment to really reflect on, why do I feel so off center? And then we realize, oh, okay, there's something that is not working. And client after client, I found the root of this burnout is one. Really, the core root of burnout is simply one thing, which is not having enough space to be honored in these systems, in these environments where we were working and we were living. And that means a lot of these environments and these places, these processes, these cultures are really created for only one type of leadership, and that is very masculine leadership. These environments are not always created to honor a feminine leadership. And when a woman who sometimes is sensitive, who's sometimes on her cycle, on the beginning of her cycle, sometimes she is on the end of her cycle, sometimes she is about to step into her cycle, a woman who is going through all kinds of different phases in life, woman who is giving birth, a woman who is sending her kids off to college, a woman who is taking her baby to a daycare facility, a woman who is stepping out of her cycle, right? In perimenopause, in menopause, these cultures and these places don't really take into account very unique needs of women. They do not also take into account very special strengths of women. And when women in all different phases of life, we are perpetually changing at all times, and that is our nature. When we try to step into these places, right? We try to step into these places where we have to give up who we are and to really be somebody who we are not, but we have to be that person because the system and the culture wants us to be that person because that is rewarded and recognized, right? What happens? Number one, we lose our essence. And number two, we start to get stressed. And this stress is not a very logical stress sometimes. Sometimes it's a very energetic, subtle feeling of stress. Like I'm trying, it kind of stresses my internal body, my internal system, my internal heart, my mind, my womb to really trying so hard to fit in. And I'm trying so hard, I'm struggling, I'm efforting, right, to be who I am not, wear all these masks in hopes for getting promoted, right? Getting recognized in some way. And guess what happens when a woman is stressed? Does she get recognized? Not really. Not really. And all of this just happens in such a subtle, sneaky way that it is very hard to make sense of this. And if you are anything like me, if you are anything like this past life of Shakti, you would be changing jobs often. And I did that. I'm so I recognize my own pattern. Anytime when something didn't work, I didn't really realize that the reason I wasn't being fulfilled is because I'm stressed. I was stressed and I was not recognized. I was not seen. I was not heard. And so because I didn't have that information, that connection made in my head, what the best I could do is change jobs after jobs after jobs, change managers, trying to find that fulfillment. And there's no fulfillment in this hamster wheel because it's like we're not pausing to really understand what is the root cause. We're not pausing to really understand where the breakdown is happening within our internal system. So this is really the reason why we're talking about leadership today. And it's a much needed conversation to have because we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about these difficult patterns that come up, especially for women. And we wanna be able to create a world where women are recognized more and they do not have to go through the stress of being in an organization or a family like this. And I want to just offer you a few stats here, but before I do that, I want to just say one more time, welcome for anyone who is watching this transmission, this webinar live with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching this after the fact, please put replay in the comments. And this way I will know to say hello to you, to check in with you, and to just see how this conversation resonates with you. And if you are completely new to my world, absolutely let me know. Say I am new here, and I would personally reach out to welcome you in, to introduce myself, and really to get to know you better. So this place, this Facebook group is our tribe. This is where we're not, a computer logging from California or, London. We are real human beings. We're talking about real things that matter to us. And that is really the tribe that I would love to cultivate, where women really come together and we're really be honest with ourselves, each other, and talk about stuff that is on our mind, because these are very much needed conversations in our world right now. So going back to leadership, research says there are only 6.6% of Fortune 500 CEOs that are women. You heard that right. Only 6.6% of women CEOs in Fortune 500 companies. And this research was published not too long ago in 2021 in Fortune. There's that. And this is really one of very important reasons why we're having this conversation today. Another research that I would like to share with you is, actually, before I move on, I feel like women are less represented, and partly because we are so fewer in number on top positions. That is why the cultures in organizations are created to tailor to men, to tailor to a very masculine way of leading. and I will get more deeper into it. But you see, part of the issue, part of the greater society challenge is is really roots from here, that they're not enough of us talking in boardrooms, setting policies, right? There are not enough of us represented out there in these top positions so we can create a culture of change. And for us to increase this number, right, what we got to do is to really step into our leadership, know what game we're playing, and know how we can win this game. I know I'm talking a little bit like a man here, but it's quite logical, right? Know what game we're playing, know what our strengths are in that game, and know how we can win this game. And that is really it. Another research that I want to share with you is there are a lot of societal expectation on women, a lot. And these expectations are at family level, the family you create, your extended family, the society in general, the cultures you come from, and the society in general. And these expectations are very subtle. And even though, I can be this like rebellious woman, no expectation, I'm not going to give in to these expectations, they creep in more energetically in our spaces. And one like big piece of the research is women often face double binds where our assertiveness, right, can be perceived as aggression, and our warmth, right, when we're like so warm and gentle, is perceived as weakness. And this research was published in 2018 in Catalyst, so you can check that out. But I just want to pause here. Do you hear me? Our assertiveness is perceived as aggression, right? And our warmth as weakness. And this is what I have seen all over. Women who are warmth, compassionate, empathic women, we are considered weak. We are not recognized in our worthiness. We are not considered enough. And that's why women, empathic women who are sensitive, who are compassionate, who lead from their heart, are not seen in our workplaces. And then we have women who probably were warmed, who had the warmth and had the compassion and had all